Krav Maga, in my definition, is the best offensive and defensive self-defense system that has ever been developed. It utilizes RETSEF, which means continuous motion, idea of using defense and counterattack at the same time. It takes from many other martial arts like Muay Thai, Western boxing, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, and brings it all together and takes the best out of every other martial art. Also, it's an open system, which means that we always work on improving the techniques. They never stay the same for years because different situations happen. The new situation that maybe nobody would think of, 20 years ago, different attacks. Right now we have to adapt to it and be ready for what's coming. So yeah, Krav Maga does all of that, but more than this, it's a philosophy, and it's a lifestyle, and it's the way that when we train, we start seeing work differently. I was in martial arts. I started as a kid, maybe 13 years old, and I started with karate, kyokushin, but soon I found out that I was basically, a punching bag for blue belts at Kumite. So I looked for something else. I found judo, and I trained judo for a number of years. I really liked it. Eventually, I had a back injury in judo. Not serious, but serious enough that I couldn't continue for a while. So that's when I stopped. After moving to the United States, I started family, started business, home, kids. But I always was drawn to, every time I went by a dojo, I was like, how great would it be, to train again? But I just couldn't picture myself at, back then, 41 years old, to start or go back to martial arts. I saw a program on TV, and that was about Krav Maga. So I saw this small woman beating up on a bunch of guys on a bus, and that caught my attention. I just sat down and just finished watching the whole program. And I was like, that's unbelievable. I had no idea. I never heard of Krav Maga before at that point. Never heard of it. So what I did, I got online, typed in Krav Maga, learned something about it, found the nearest school, and I started training. And at that point, I've decided that I wanted to be a black belt in Krav Maga. So this was the beginning of me, starting training Krav Maga.
My name is Lenka Bystrianska, and I just joined Greg's group a month and a half ago. I'm a white belt in Krav Maga. I came to the United States 24 years ago. Before I came to the United States, I was practicing Goju-Ryu. Also, Shitoryu was a branch of Goju-Ryu, and I'm a black belt. I used to compete internationally in Europe, and I have a lot of friends, particularly from Serbia, that got into Krav Maga. So I followed them, through different social media, and I saw how functional Krav Maga is for, not just military purposes, police purposes, for defense, but also for a common person like myself. And I just felt that that was something that I really wanted to get into for many years. For me, a person that wants to learn how to defend myself, I just felt that Krav Maga would be probably the best martial art for me to get into. And needless to say, finding this dojo here the proximity to my home and also how welcoming Greg's group was. You know, I'm the only female in the class on a regular basis, and I never felt uncomfortable. So altogether, the whole mixture is why I chose to be here today. Greg's training, his method of training is one of the reasons also why I joined his group. I feel that he's very clear on instructions. His demonstrations, you know, the group of people that he works with are just very easy to follow for something that I have never done before, that I can learn. Every time I come out of this class, every time, I have so many stories to tell my friends. This is what I learned today. I get excited about it. You know what? I just learned how to disarm someone. I never held a gun, but I know how to take it away. So it's really great. I love the group. I love the class, and so I feel that it's definitely something I would like to continue doing. In today's world, you don't know what to expect, and particularly, I would like to mention a very recent event, killing off a young Ukrainian woman on a train. And 24 years ago, when I came to the United States, I was like her. I didn't see the danger. I didn't think that coming to the United States could pose any type of unexpected situation that could result in death of someone. But I see myself in that girl, because you don't go to places thinking that I'm going to die today. And I find Krav Maga being extremely empowering. I really hope that one day we can create a community of women that are empowered to be able to defend themselves, to be able to recognize when danger is around. And I just, you know, being a woman myself, I do a lot of things by myself. I travel by myself. I go and do different things by myself. And just taking those few classes that I have taken with Greg, the Krav Maga classes, I already feel more powerful and a little bit more prepared for situations that may be unexpected. So I think this is a phenomenal opportunity.
Please don't take me! Get down! Get down!
What I realized when I started Krav Maga, what I realized and what drew me into it, that I could actually get good at it at age 41. And I have students coming in at age 62, and this is the first time they are training any martial art. And if they're persistent and if they continue, they learn it, which would be, you know, difficult if they have decided to start with traditional martial arts. So Krav Maga is for everyone, and everyone can learn it, everyone can be efficient at it. I started Krav Maga at a little local school, but being at my age of 41, and after deciding that I want to get real good at it and be a black belt, I realized that I have to find someone who is one of the best in the world to learn from. And that person was Master Alan Cohen. I still train under him. He's the head of Krav Maga Federation, AC. I'm a national director of Krav Maga Federation AC for the United States under him. I really wanted to shorten the process and not to learn things that I'm not supposed to be learning, just get to the point and get, real pure Krav Maga. The lineage that I was interested in, because I wanted to get as close to someone who learned Krav Maga, as close, from the founder, Emil Lichtenfeld. And it just happens that first student of Emil Lichtenfeld, that was Raphael Grisi. At this point, he's the oldest black belt holder. He's a grandmaster right now. And my master, Alan Cohen, he learned from Raphael Grisi. He was his student. So technically, I'm a third generation instructor in Krav Maga. Once I started with training with Master Alan Cohen, I decided to, the first big step was to become an instructor. So I became an instructor, also tested for my blue belt at that point, and I started teaching at the school that I was still involved with when I started. A year after, I believe, that school was kind of, changing the structure or something like that. And I have decided to organize the instructor certification for Master Alan Cohen to come and invite other people who wanted to become instructors, and that happened. And after that, I was hooked. I was like, I wanna teach other people. So we, maybe three years after I became an instructor, I opened my first performance Krav Maga school in Mays Landing. When you start your school, the biggest challenge is always a membership, and thinking about, are you gonna have enough members? Are they gonna be committed to stay for a year so you can pay the bills? Obviously, you have to pay electricity, you have to pay the heat, you have to pay the rent. So you have to have enough members. And this is always, challenging, but what I have done is, before I opened the school, I taught a program somewhere else, so I already had a student base. So that was it was a little bit easier. So when we opened the doors, at that point, the bills were paid. We weren't making money yet, but at least the bills were paid. As far as, teaching students, that's actually rewarding. So you can be talking about the challenges right there.
I chose Krav Maga out of all the martial arts because it takes the best techniques from each martial art and kind of combines them. So when I was doing my research, it seemed to me like it was the most effective martial art, basically the most succinct martial art. I've been doing martial arts 5 years, so it took me about 4 years to become a brown belt. So I chose this school because Greg's lineage was the most direct with the founder of Krav Maga. So I felt like it was the most authentic version that I could get in New Jersey. Greg's method of training is very technical. So he's able to break down the techniques step by step, so it's very easy for a beginner to learn. As a woman, I think Krav Maga is extremely helpful, especially these days. It seems to be more dangerous just being out and about. But Krav Maga specifically is very easy for a woman to be able to learn. You don't need a lot of strength. You don't need to be big. It works with body mechanics, so anybody can learn it, and I think for women it's extremely helpful.
My name is Bill James. I'm a first dan black belt instructor, Krav Maga. It took about 4 years, but that was with consistent 3 to 4 days training every week. Depending on your skill set where you are, it may take a little bit longer. I chose Krav Maga because it's simplicity. It's using other arts techniques in combination with principles that the Israeli defense uses for self-defense. We could pretty much take somebody early and they come out with some basic knowledge right away. So it's very practical. The exercise that we get through Krav Maga is very beneficial. I feel that that's helped me with that a lot. More calmness in tough situations. I can sit there, I can respond versus reacting to the situation. So I can kind of take it in, internalize it, know how to de-escalate. So those are some of the major benefits. I finally decided after 10 years of actually seeing and driving by the place to stop in and talk to Greg, and Greg sold me right away. Greg was very attentive, answered all my questions, and he's a very thorough instructor. I absolutely recommend Krav Maga. We can take anybody from youth all the way up to 70 and above, and they can learn techniques to really apply it right away.
When I started the school, our kids were actually growing up. One was 5, one was 8, and they were perfect material for to be Krav Maga students. So they got, we got them involved immediately. My wife also wanted for them, to learn martial arts. So it wasn't like I had to spend the time away from them, because it was always with me. So my wife was supportive in this process. Performance Krav Maga is part of a larger organization, which is Krav Maga Federation AC, which I'm head of that organization for the United States under Master Alan Cohen. Under Federation, we have affiliate schools in different states, northern New Jersey, Virginia, Iowa, Arizona, California. Performance Krav Maga had also other locations. I was growing that for a number of years, but eventually I realized that it was just too much time for me to be involved in running 3, 4, 5 schools. So I focused more on training instructors in other states under other federation, going to Iowa, going to other places, so doing seminar and instructor certifications, black belt certifications, rather than spending all that time in my own schools. So we narrowed down to combine all the schools into one. Right now we have a new place which has a lot of gym equipment and has other martial arts, so it's like a center for different martial arts. Currently we are located at Okafor Boxing and Fitness, which is a training center started by David, who was a boxer in Ghana. He's super passionate about it, and his idea is to grow in one martial arts center, to have boxing, to have MMA, to have jiu-jitsu, to have Krav Maga, everything under one roof. So I got kind of early in on a game. We're probably, besides boxing, we're the most developed program that is right there right now. We have a great place to train. Our students can use all the equipment, and also they can participate in other martial arts, so it just makes it a win-win for everyone. I'm also an official representative for FIMA, which stands for Federation of Israeli Martial Arts. It's a great organization that brings all the different Krav Maga federations under one roof. I just came back from Arizona, where there was a Hall of Fame event sponsored by FEMA. It was a great event. I had, for the first time, I had an opportunity to meet in person a lot of people that I only knew from social media. Top guys in Krav Maga. So it was a great experience, and I just enjoy working with them. Staying in shape. So I'm not a typical, gym goer. It's kind of boring for me. So I like to stay in shape with kind of active sports. So, biking, kayaking, subboarding, all kinds of sports that, I can have fun while doing it. Not just by sweating and thinking, I'm losing a pound or 2 pounds, and in a couple months, I'm gonna be, 5 pounds less. That just kind of doesn't excite me. I want, I wanna have fun while I'm doing it. Yeah, all kinds of things like that. That makes me happy while I'm doing it. What we cover as far as the Krav Maga program. So we teach defense against gun threats, defense against knife attacks, defense against stick attacks, but also knife on knife fighting, stick on stick fighting, also shooting. If someone's interested, take them to the shooting course, and we teach them Israeli tactical shooting, which is much different from what's being offered in the United States. My philosophy is that if you know how to disarm a gun, you also have to know how to use that gun. So we emphasize practical knowledge of firearms, because once you get your hands on a weapon, you have to know how to use it, for your safety, for safety of other people around you. And also, if that's the last resort, you have to know how to, use it against your attacker. I also learned how to use Japanese sword, crossbow, compound bow shooting. You never know when that, when you could use it, if you need it, if you ever need it. If you won't need it, that's great, but also it's a lot of fun, doing this. During my years with Krav Maga, I was fortunate to meet a lot of people in martial arts industry, big movie stars, but also great instructors, attend a lot of martial arts events and Hall of Fame. So I got a lot of awards from Hall of Fames, but it's not really about the awards and the trophies, but it's about meeting those people, at least once a year, and have an opportunity to talk to them, and have lunch with them, and have dinner with them, and train with them, and just learn from them new things. There's always something, even like one thing that you can take from going to one of those events and talking to people who spend their whole life in martial arts training. My current goals are to reach as many people as I can, to learn Krav Maga. That was the reason why I decided to write a book and put pretty much almost everything I know into that book, which later was also turned into an online course. Yeah, just share my knowledge and find someone who can carry that when I no longer can do it.
But Krav Maga specifically is very easy for a woman to be able to learn. You don't need a lot of strength. You don't need to be big. It works with body mechanics, so anybody can learn it. And I think for women, it's extremely helpful.
I absolutely recommend Krav Maga. We could take anybody from youth all the way up to 70 and above, and they can learn techniques to really apply it right away.
Every time I come out of this class, every time, I have so many stories to tell my friends. This is what I learned today. I get excited about it. You know what? I just learned how to disarm someone. I've never held a gun, but I know how to take it away. So it's really great. I love the group. I love the class, and so I feel that it's definitely something I would like to continue doing.